Hey folks, Nicholas Field here, and today I'm going to talk to you about how I organize my Lavalier accessories to deploy them quickly when I'm on location. I'm also going to talk about the importance of staying organized as a production sound mixer more generally. Let's go. If you're anything like me, you've already tried a few approaches to organize all the bits and bobs that you use to hide lavs on talent. Or maybe you're just getting started and you're curious what other folks are doing. In any case, this video is meant to go over the finer points of organizing small pieces of gear, based on my experience and that of other sound professionals. If you're just getting started in this realm, you might think that spending so much time thinking about organizing little bits and pieces of your kit is a bit absurd. However, in my experience, better organization equals better efficiency. Better efficiency equals faster deployment. Faster deployment means you're saving time for production, which is what gets you rehired. And it doesn't hurt that taking time to think about this stuff makes your job easier on set. Based on this equation, it's clear that refining the smallest parts of your workflow can pay dividends when it comes to your reputation on set and getting that important call back from a new client. In this video, I'll outline how I have chosen to organize these things currently, as well as a few alternatives that I know other mixers are using. I've included affiliate links to all the products discussed in this video in the description below. Simply clicking on any of these links helps support me and keep this channel going at no additional cost to you. Let's get going. Okay, so the case that I've been using for the last several months isn't just some random tackle box. It's an infinite divider case by Flambeau. And what sets this apart from a lot of other products is the quality construction. This isn't just some dollar store plastic that's going to flex and crack. It's really quite durable. And it has solid locking hinges, so there's no question about it accidentally opening on you. When you open it up, you'll see why it's called an infinite divider system. Basically, each of these dividers can be moved around wherever you want, and you can even order extras if you need more compartments. This is what the case looks like set up with the 6 dividers that it ships with. So over here on the top left corner I have moleskin, and this can be useful for hiding cables and for softening fabric that's noisy, rubbing against the mic. You can even do the classic lav sandwich if you need to. Next to it is a product called Mepitac, Safe Tack, okay? And what this is a silicone tape. And this stuff is amazing because you can use it to basically tape over chest hair. And then you can adhere the lav directly onto the tape, and it gets rid of all of the chest hair rustle. This stuff is essential. So over here on the right corner, I have Topstick. This stuff is awesome because it's really similar in dimensions to a DPA 6060 concealer from Bumblebee. So as you can see, here's the DPA 6060 concealer. And it's super easy just to rip off a piece of this, stick it on, and you're good to go. And I find this sticks a lot better than the standard Bumblebee adhesives that ship with the concealers. Moving down to the center here, I've got some more adhesives. This is called Topstick, and this is another double-sided tape. It's what I've been using for years with my COS 11s. This is an RM11 mount for COS 11s, and this is the Topstick. It's basically the exact same, so it's another situation where you can just quickly rip off a piece on the fly and you're good to go. And this stuff is great. Holds up really well. Like, rarely do you have issues with Topstick. Next are these little Ursa circles. And these Ursa circles I use pretty much exclusively with the Ursa furs. And these are just little bits of wind protection for lavs for when you're working outside. Basically, these circles come in a package with the Ursa furs, but how I like to use them is actually cutting a hole in the center of the circle. And I got tired of using scissors to do this, and I found it was really slow. So over here, I have this little hole punch. And what I do is just, if I need to use one of these circles, just put it in the hole punch and line it up. And voila, you have a perfect little mount. And you can pre-prep these in advance too, which I like to do. If I know I'm shooting outside, I'll usually prep a few of these. You just stick it like this. And then what you do is basically you put the lav on to talent, whether it's on their chest or onto their shirt, using some sort of mount, such as an RM11 mount or a little bumblebee mount. And this works great with the DPA mounts because you can just go stick this off, press it over the mic capsule, and it just sticks right on there. And you got to be sure to leave a little bit of an air pocket. And the cool thing is that, you know, if you have one of these little hole punches, and let's say you're using like the bumblebee squares, the little fur squares, then you could do the same thing where you just go like this, make a hole in the top stick, stick a fur square on there, and you're good to go. So I actually think that a little hole punch like this is a pretty useful thing to have on hand. It saves a lot of time. It's super nerdy, but I don't care. Moving on to the bottom corner of the case, we've got some Hush Labs. These things are great. I usually have been rocking them lately with safety pins. What I'll do is attach a safety pin to the Hush Lab with a little bit of moleskin, wrap it around, and then you have a quick little mount that you can attach to stuff. Say you don't want to use adhesives, or say you're really quickly setting up labs on people and have to mount them and unmount them quickly. Or I understand this is used quite often on like The Amazing Race and shows where they have to lab someone up at the beginning of the day and then it has to stay on and they can't worry about tapes falling off. This is very useful. So always keep safety pins, Hush Labs. And another place I like to use Hush Labs is on tie rigs. So put this in, stick it in the tie with a little bit of double-sided tape as well. And it just like basically keeps it from any rustling or any compression on the tie. If people are adjusting their tie, I find it like insulates it pretty good. And then yeah, over here is just some of these little circles. I've got some of the Rycoat ones down here that are thicker for if it's like super windy, but I find that they don't work. They're not quite as nice as the Ursa ones. Here's one of the Ursa ones pre-prepped from another shoot. And then over here, we've got some of the Bumblebee DPA concealer accessories. So they've got little clips and they've got different sized sort of like fabric guards. These things are super finicky, so I just decided to keep them all in one place. And a few extras, because you never know when things are going to go missing. These are the Bumblebee tapes that come with the Bumblebee concealers. I don't use them very much, but sometimes if you like just want to be super fast and you know you're labbing someone up for like a quick little like 5-minute soundbite or something, it's totally cool. It works. And then in the corner here I have some of my COS 11 accessories, so some RM11 mounts. I've got this, this is like a universal lab mount, so I do have some like Mickey 2s in my kit, so you can just shove a Mickey 2 in there, and yeah, I don't know, I've only ever used this a couple times. Vampire clip for COS 11, it's pretty classic. I kind of do the same thing as a vampire clip with this safety pin maneuver, but vampire clips are a bit more elegant. And then here's just a few of the little Ursa COS 11 mounts. I don't use these very much because I like the surface area. Like if I'm going to be using an adhesive, I like to have more surface area. So I like using something that's a bit wider actually and flatter. I find that these don't have enough surface area to stick very much, and they're kind of like, I don't know, they're cool. Like when you need them, they're cool. They're small. They can be good for like under a dress shirt or something, but I digress. This is just an adapter for my lav bullet. So yeah, that's how I'm organizing all of my little Lavalier accessories in 2023. This is a pretty good solution for me because I carry like I like to have a fair amount of stuff with me. I'm not bringing everything in the kitchen sink, you know? And I don't like having to restock this thing constantly either. Like I don't like to be going out and working one day and then having to restock something instantly at the end of every shoot. I find that to be annoying. So I like the amount that this can carry. It can fit into a back pocket or a cargo pocket or something, or into a hoodie, and it's just kind of there. And, you know, I do have an ancillary, like smaller little pouch that I always keep on my person that has scissors, and it has like a few pieces of adhesive and whatever solution basically I'm working with that day, I'll just chuck some into a smaller pouch that I'm keeping on me all the time. And then this can live at my cart, or, you know, wherever it is that the rest of my gear is living. That being said, you know, there are other solutions that I've seen out there. I know a lot of people aren't into these cases because when you open it up, everything is exposed, right? Like, if this gets knocked over by somebody, you're screwed, because everything's gonna fall out, and that's a little bit of a dangerous game to be playing, depending on what line of work you're in. If you're doing reality shows every day, you might not want to be ripping this thing open and like precariously balancing it. But, you know, this basically lives at my cart. And I use it to prep things, and then I'm kind of off to the races. So I'm not too worried about that. But if you're worried about that type of thing, I would say there's two other solutions that I've seen other people using that I think are pretty cool. The first one is this like larger sort of tackle box, and it has like a clamshell kind of approach, and then each compartment opens on its own. The problem with this is that it isn't customizable in any way, so you'll have to pre-prep all of your adhesives and things if you're going to try and jam them in there. And what I like about this is I can really just like chuck in my adhesives at the length that I buy them in, and then I can just rip them off as I go, or cut them. And then another one that I've seen people use quite a bit, and that like rental houses in the city seem to send things in, are these little smaller clamshell cases that are similar premise, but they're just really small. And these things are pretty dope. But like I said, I don't like to restock things very often, and I feel like if I was relying on one of these, I would be restocking it basically every shoot, if not every day, you know? And to me, that's just not a sustainable workflow. Like, I already have enough on my mind trying to charge batteries and just make sure everything is clean and organized without having to deal with all the finicky little things. So I think it's great, you know, if you're doing a lot of run and gun, maybe having both, that could be cool. But I thought I would link to them here, because just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean it won't work for you. So yeah, that's it. I appreciate you all watching this video, and if you have any feedback, and if you want to share your experiences trying to organize all these finicky little bits and bobs, I would encourage you to leave me a comment below. I've been really enjoying how the comment section on my videos has become a great way of generating knowledge and sharing. So I appreciate all of the constructive comments that have been left on my videos so far. I think it's becoming an awesome resource for folks. So please continue doing that. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. Visit one of the affiliate links below if you want to support me. Even just clicking through can be useful. You don't have to buy anything, but it all helps in this endeavor of mine. So thank you so much. Until next time, peace.